opponent claims animal testing is unnecessary, she fails to link to specific citations for any of her arguments. Furthermore, her ban on animal testing ignores the medical necessity and reality of these tests and the moral distinction between human and animal lives. For these reasons, I propose a counterplan where a partial ban on animal testing is enacted by the United States federal government. This partial ban would permit animal testing only for medical purposes and forbid animal testing where unnecessary for medical progress, such as cosmetic testing. 1. Medical necessity. One cannot deny the importance of animal testing to medicine. As Colin Blakemore, professor of neuroscience at Oxford and Warwick Universities, states, antibiotics, insulin, vaccines for polio and cervical cancer, organ transplantation, HIV treatments, they were all developed and tested using animals. In fact, animal research has contributed to 70% of Nobel Prizes for physiology or medicine. Without it, we would, medically speaking, be stuck in the Dark Ages. Animal research has been crucial in the development of some of our most important modern medical practices, and a complete ban on it would set back the development of life-saving drugs and techniques. My opponent failed to provide any source in the speech or citation box to substantiate her claims that more animals are killed than humans are saved. Alternatives do exist, but they cannot replace all tests performed on animals because they lack the complexity of a fully functioning biological system. According to Roger Morris, head of the School of Biomedical Sciences at King's College, real diseases are diseases of the whole body and can only be studied in the whole body. We need to look at living brain. Certainly, alternative tests can be useful, but a computer model or small tissue sample cannot mimic or reproduce the intricate responses of a living organism. As Frankie Trell, president of the non-for-profit Foundation for Biomedical Research, states in Time magazine, at some point in the process it is critical to understand how a compound works in a whole living system. You can't just determine how it works on blood pressure or the heart. You need to know how it will affect all the organs. People in the research community will be the first to tell you they still don't know enough about how the complex living organism works in order to duplicate it. Banning all animal testing will impede research on diseases like Alzheimer's, cancer, mental disorders, and hundreds more. Alternative tests work well, especially for simple tests like those done on cosmetics, but have not yet been perfected to accurately mimic the complexity needed for medical research. 2. The military and expenses. Even if taxpayers are paying for animal tests, so are any consumers of any products or medicines made with animal testing. Again, she provides no citations to her claims of animal testing being more expensive than alternatives. Furthermore, according to a report issued by the Pentagon this month and Military.com, more troops could die if the military stops using live animal tests for battlefield medical training before medical simulation devices are up to snuff. The current human simulation devices, such as mannequins, used in emergency medical training, haven't been shown to have sufficient high fidelity to base medical training on. 3. Utilitarian ethics of animal testing. Unfortunately, as my opponent pointed out, some animals do lose their lives during medical testing. But consider, at some point, these tests have to be administered at an early stage upon a living being. If that organism were to die, would you rather it be a rat or a human? As Claire Andres and Michael Vasquez point out in Issues in Medical Ethics, if we had to choose between saving a drowning baby and saving a drowning rat, we would surely save the baby. Moreover, if we consider animals as our moral equals, where do we draw the line? The value we place on the lives of animals does not count as much as the value we place on human lives. Essentially, in situations where animal testing saves human lives, those lives outweigh the lives of animals in the experiments. Even if you believe human and animal lives are of equal value, Dr. Laura Bishop of Georgetown University's National Reference Center for Bioethics Literature notes more than 20 countries have specific legislation governing the human use of animals in biomedical research and education. Typical legislation requires adequate housing conditions, controls on animal pain, and critical prior review. A few countries require some explicit ethical justification. My counterplan of a partial ban on animal testing, limited only to medical research, acknowledges the real need for animal testing on living organisms, while recognizing that animal lives do have more value than to be sacrificed on trivialities such as cosmetics testing. Animal testing is a situation of utilitarianism, of ends justifying means. Animal testing has been responsible for major medical breakthroughs that have saved millions of human lives. Thus, my counterplan of a ban excluding medical testing is far more beneficial to the scientific community and humanity as a whole.